Hello, good viber. How are you doing? It is your girl Esther Joy coming at you with another video. So on this channel, we like to talk about love, light, joy, and peace. And today we're going to be just talking a little bit about the wonderful way that you can change your ego for the better. And there are 3 things that I think are super important when you are wanting to transform your ego. So let's just start off by talking a little bit about the ego. The ego itself is something that the best way to explain it is like all of these experiences creating a light image of your physical experience that you display to other people, generally speaking. Okay, I have no idea if that made any sense, but that is what came through. So what does that mean? Well, pretty much the way I see an ego, because for a while I really did not know what an ego was, and I was kind of like confused when I heard that word going around, especially the idea of ego death. Then I realized that an ego is something that I myself may think in my mind is totally pure and justified by what has happened in the past in some way. Saying that maybe if you really sucked at spelling and it inspired you to become the world's best speller, that's a positive kind of ego shift, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I'd love to know how you define what an ego is, okay? I believe that our egos are more seen from the people externally than ourselves internally. And this is through the actions we do and the things that we say. We might not even notice it and notice the ego that we have because it's just something that is being reflected out to others, kind of declaring what we deem worthy in ourselves, if that makes sense. Okay. So let's just hop into these 3 things that I think really help when it comes to transforming your ego. Like I said, I feel like a big buzzword is ego death. And I do believe in ego death. I've had lots of ego deaths. When our ego dies, it's like the peeling of an onion layer. I like to use this analogy because you begin to get deeper into the core of your soul. And this is usually releasing something in the physical that was a part of your identity, not really even the physical, just something that was a part of your identity that you thought really was just all about you. I'm thinking of an example, but nothing's coming to mind. So I would love to know what is an ego to you? Let me know in the comments down below. Share it with the fam, okay? Your wisdom is always appreciated, fam. I'm just out here and I wanted to share 3 things now that I have seen really help transform the ego, okay? And there's a lot of different ways that we can transform our ego. Traumatic experiences, generally speaking, transform our ego, as well as victories that we deem really important. Those also transform our egos. Now, with that being said, here are the 3 things, I know you've been waiting, that can help transform your ego for the better. So the first one is love. Yeah, okay, you're probably like, wow, Esther, you're really hitting us with that one first. That's what even is love? So when I think of love and it comes to transforming the ego, I think of this space that you are creating to experience your ego. Having compassion for your ego in this space of loving whatever it is. Of course, I feel like for us, it's super easy to just love our ego. It's just like a part of us, right? So love is still really important, not just for yourself, but most of these things that I'm going to be talking about should be projected to other people as well, because that is a really big factor of your ego. So loving others, okay? Looking for those parts within yourself that are looking for that love. And we're going to dive deeper into why this is so important with the other 2. The second one is humility. So humility is really important when you are wanting to transform your ego. Our ego, for whatever reason, will say things like, I am the best at this and this and this, or I am the absolute worst at this and this and this. And this is just our ego because it can't stand to be mundane for whatever reason. I'm not sure, okay? This is just what I'm I've observed. But being humble and using humility can really help shift your beautiful ego in a positive light, especially when you think about how your ego interacts with other people. Instead of kind of highlighting yourself and your ego on a pedestal, I feel like you will naturally get what you need when you humble yourself and realize that your ego is just a small part of your multidimensional self, and that it is just trying its best to display what it thinks is most exciting and relevant about your personality and your being on this world. But there's so much that we really don't even know about our own souls, I would like to think anyways. I can only speak about myself. And so with that being said, humbling ourselves, realizing that everyone has an ego and everyone is going through this lifetime, this human experience, trying to learn how to balance themselves, okay? Especially when you first go through your awakening process, I feel like we wake up and we think, oh yeah, I'm God, that's great. And yeah, great, you are this beautiful creation made in the image of God, and all life form that is just trilling and streaming through you in such a wonderful way. But being humble about it and actually demonstrating humility is something that your ego is gonna hate, because it's just not a part of the ego. Your ego is here to be that big old mask that is glitter and gold. And so when you actually humble it, you'll be interested of what comes up in your ego mind when you kind of cut back on puffing it up. But this will actually give you a more authentic ego that is more related to I feel like the natural soul essence that is dwelling through us all, which seems to be really humble, because it doesn't really yell at us all the time saying like, I am the life force that you need to live. It's just like chilling there, super humble. And yeah, so that really helps also, just taking away a lot of the energy that we feel like we might have put, or all of the weight that we put on our ego. I feel like when we are able to humble ourselves and really bring humility into a moment, we are more able to allow ourselves to just grow naturally without having all of these expectations already set. And so being humble and having humility really opens you up to change your ego in such a way where you're not scared that it's gonna just, yeah, it's just good. It's good to be humble. It's good to practice humility in a wholesome and holistic way. Okay, so we are gonna go on to the last one, which is a beautiful mix of forgiveness and gratitude. So this is really interesting. I feel like, again, with the idea of trauma, when it comes into our life, it is just sucks. It's just negative energy. It leaves a big old dent in our energy body. But I believe that actually helps. Yeah, it helps form your ego, but how is it helping form your ego? Because your ego is a big factor on how you display yourselves to others and what you do and what you say. So with this being said, being able to be thankful and even forgive those things that have happened to you in the past are amazing. And I could break this up into two separate things, but I think there's such a power in being thankful that you can forgive something, because then I feel like it really releases a lot of energy of anger that may be manifested in your ego, a lot of these negative energies that can be integrated with your ego. By being thankful that you can forgive whatever these energies or this energetic trauma may be, it gives you such power to transform your ego in a positive way. And so those limitations that you once felt like you were bound by because your ego told you so can dissolve in a way where you are just thankful that you are able to transform in a humble way and just love the being that you are with all of the compassion in the world. Okay, that's my ego talking now, but for real, I hope that this video helps you in some way as you continue throughout the day. Thank you for taking a moment to just be with me as we explore how to change our ego and just transform it in a positive way. I hope to see you in the next video, and let me know if you have practiced any of these energies with your ego, probably subconsciously, because it's not really something that we do consciously most of the time, and how your ego has transformed, what really sparked that transformation for you. Okay, I just wanted to share what I have observed has helped me with transforming my ego in a positive way, and I would love to know if you have anything you'd like to share with the fam. But without further ado, enjoy the rest of your day. God bless and namaste.